one dominant buck per doe herd. Remember that. And doe herds can be anywhere from one alpha doe to an unlimited number. There's only one alpha doe per doe herd, and you're only going to have one dominant buck per that doe herd. So the more doe herds you have, the more dominant bucks you're going to have on your property. If you have 30 does and they're all in one herd, you're only going to have one dominant buck, and then you're going to have scrub bucks, lesser bucks, bucks that we need out of our herds for the genetics. The one dominant buck cannot keep control of all 30 does and protect the breeding of all 30 does, because they're all going to come in and cycle at the same time. So while he's breeding one, you have 29 other potentials to breed a lesser buck, a non-dominant buck, a weaker buck, a sicker buck, and our survival of the fittest doesn't work at that. Also, they're not going to work for a rattle, a grunt, snort wheeze. Hardly anything works when you have too many does like that. There's no competition, so there's no need to be competitive. So you're rattling and stuff like that. When people say, "Oh, I've rattled my whole life and it never works," 99% of the time, that's why. It's not that you're rattling wrong. It's not that you're rattling too short of time or too long a time or too soft, too hard. Just get out in nature and watch them. And once you hear bucks fight, I've heard them fight to where it sounds like they're barely touching. And I've also heard them fight where it sounded like you took two baseball bats and hit them together. You can't screw up rattling. But if you're rattling and it's not working, more than likely it's because you have too many does and there's not enough competition for that. So therefore, they're not going to respond to that. Yeah, like I say, the less does you have, but yet the more doe herds, better off you are. I mean, if you got 20 single does, my God, you're in the big leagues, bro. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a property that way. But if you could do that, that would be probably the best property you ever hunted. They're going to be together. They're always going to be together for the most part. I mean, you can spook them and split them up. They'll run, but normally they're going to be together. They're going to come in together at the feed. They're all going to come in and they're going to hang out. They'll normally travel together, and they're normally strung out, quarter mile, half mile long, depending on the size of your herd. But for the most part, your big doe herds, they're all coming in together at the same time. I mean, they're more or less a family. A lot of times they are a family. The doe, when she has a doe fawn, they'll stay with her. That's part of their herd. The buck fawns, I believe it's 1.5 or 2.5. I can't remember what it was. They kick them out so that it stops inbreeding. So I don't know. Nature's finest. Doe management. Get you some kids out there during extended doe season in Kansas. Get you a bunch of kids out there that shoot their first deer. They're just excited to shoot them. Or get you some people that need meat. Get them out there and I always tell people that come onto our properties and shoot does for us, don't shoot the one doe that comes in by herself. Shoot the doe that comes in with 12, 10, 8, 6, whatever. Because honestly, all you're doing is if you're supplemental feeding, you're just paying to feed 6 mouths or 10 mouths or 12 mouths when all you really want to feed is one mouth. But anyways, sorry, thought there was a deer. Just tidbit information.